It was a long show tonight. I got a lot to say, so let's jump right into it. Hey fam, what's up, what's up, what's up? This is Robert Anton here, robertantonnyc.com, coming to you with your no frills American Idol commentary from a singer. Oh my goodness, it's the 4th night of American Idol auditions and Simon Cowell was the opening voice of the show. Wow, did they bring him back? No, they didn't bring him back. We also got to see the pants on the ground, man. Yay! Pants on the ground. I used to love that. They were talking about some of the old auditions, and then we started out with the auditions in Denver, Colorado. Lynn was up first. She was 28 years old. She did Unaware by Alan Stone, and I like how she flipped into those first notes and caressed the high notes so well. She had quite a bit of good grit and emotion and was blowing those big notes without getting too loud. Harry said she's talented. J-Lo said Amber had a lot of soul and sings from a place down deep. Keith said he liked that she was in her own world. She came in with James Gray Dawson the 8th. He did Sun Comes Up by John Legend, but he had played the guitar for her first. And I wrote, James went in to play for Amber and she asked him to audition. He did a lot of nice things with his voice. I feel like I didn't get to hear his true voice, but he definitely had control over his vocals. He was just doing so many different kind of affectations on his voice throughout the song. I wasn't really hearing what he really sounds like. Harry said there are a lot of interesting things about him and mentioned his voice was kind of affected. They both went to Hollywood. Then there was Emily Ware. She was 25. She did Bring On the Rain by Joe D. Messina, and she was an auction caller, and Ryan had her trying to sell Owen a cameraman's watch. She seemed just a little nervous as she started singing, but had a nice grainy sound to her voice that went a little flat here and there. I liked her overall sound, though she needs some work on her upper register. Harry said her singing needs a little work and it wasn't strong enough. J-Lo didn't think she had a lot of emotion and power. Keith mentioned that her pitch was drifting and she got 3 no's. Then we moved right on to Little Rock, Arkansas. Thumb this up, let me know that you enjoyed the commentary so far. I gotta do it, I gotta do it, I gotta do it because you guys forget it, I'll forget, we all forget. I need your thumbs, I need your comments to keep doing this commentary. I thank you guys so much just for joining me, for passing around the video, for discussing the show with me. Let me know who your favorites are so far, and thanks again for your thumbs. Chris C.J. Johnson was up next. He did You Make My Dreams Come True by Hall & Oates. This was a straight ahead rock feel from him that had the judges singing along with him. I liked his sound and he was right in his element, so comfortable and confident. J-Lo said really nice voice. Keith mentioned his effortless confidence. Harry called it cool and a really nice version of the song. Of course he got 3 yeses to go through. Then there was Ethan Kuntz. He was 15. He did Stormy Monday by the Allman Brothers. He was strumming pretty good on that guitar and had some nice vocal talent, but to me he sounded like he may have just been forcing it quite a bit, especially when he was on the high notes. Keith said he did not expect that voice. J-Lo called him a natural. Harry said he has no doubt he's supposed to do this, but he seems really young. He had Harry and J-Lo debating back and forth. Harry said no, while J-Lo said yes, and Keith was waffling. They went to commercial, came back, and of course Keith said yes. I ain't gonna turn down this little boy, 15 years old. Mary Williams was up next. She was 23. She did Till I Can Make It on My Own by Tammy, Wynette, and she was cute and talkative, and she took me to church when she started singing, like to Catholic church. I was just hearing the angels sing, you know what I'm saying? Such a clear, pure tone and great rounded tones that fill the whole room. It sounded like she had reverb on her voice too. Did you notice that? Keith stopped her. J-Lo said really pretty voice and she found qualities in her voice that were pleasing. Keith said he was missing the feeling and it felt performed. Harry said she sang in the pocket really well and she got 2 yeses. Keith said no. Xavier Solo was up next. He was 26. He did Friends in Low Places by Garth Brooks, and he was rushing it a little bit and seemed a little out of breath when he started, but I guess that was due to the game he had the judges play ahead of time. He was trying to hype everybody up, came in with this little basketball game for them all to play. J-Lo and the judges all gave him a no. Terrian was up next. 18. She did Happy by Pharrell. She came in with a positive attitude and of course sang a very positive song. I didn't like the way she started the song, but was liking it better as she got to the verse and then the chorus. It actually turned out to be a really nice arrangement. Harry said he liked her and called her talented. J-Lo said she had a mellow style. Keith agreed and she got 3 yeses to go to Hollywood. Then we had Leann Blue McIsaac. She was 23. She wrote them a song off the cuff, an original song, right? And she was quirky and she had a nice sound with a little flutter in her voice. I don't know that this showed her off well because it didn't have a lot of melody or focus. She was making up the thing as she went along, and some people can do that really well. She didn't do it well in this audition. Harry told her that singing is not for her. Ooh. J-Lo said American Idol isn't the right lane for her. Keith called her incredibly creative, but she got 3 no's. And I'm sorry, I really liked her voice, the way she sounded, the little flutter she had and all that, but if she would have sang, I mean, did she ask to sing a second song? Because she could have sang something that was, you know, an established melody and gotten through. And Ruben Studdard was helping out with the auditions in the big room today, and we got to see some of the bad auditions that didn't make it to the judges and their swan songs. Thomas Stringfellow was then up next. He was 17. He did Give Me Love by Ed Sheeran, and he brought in his guitar, but it didn't look like he was actually the one playing it to me. Did you see how he was strumming and the sound was not the same? He had a very nice sound and style of vocalizing, such a tender falsetto, and his upper notes were very pleasing, and the way he formed his vowels was different. Harry admired his playing. Keith said his way of doing things was really appealing and called his vibe interesting. J-Lo called it interesting and called him an artist, and of course he got 3 yeses. Then we went back to Denver. Then we had a little skit where Keith went out on the street and did some busking for people out on the streets, and Harry was taking money out of his case. We didn't know till later. It was a funny skit, very enjoyable. Tywan Tank Jackson was up next. He did Superstar by Luther Vandross, and he did some dance for them to a J-Lo song before he sang. Boy had some moves for a big guy. He had a pretty big voice as he started singing. He was rushing a little because he was out of breath, and J-Lo noticed and mentioned it. He kept the melody well until one point where he went totally off, but he finished well. J-Lo said he did a great job and had a great voice. Keith called it really good. Harry said his tone reminded him of someone, and he got 3 yeses. I forgot the name of the person he said, but this was a long night, baby. It was a long night. John Wayne Schultz, 27 years old, The Dance by Garth Brooks. He auditioned in season 10 and he got cut because of Scotty McCreery, who won that season. Of course, he played guitar and had a wonderful tone and a sweet delivery. His voice was all country and his simplicity was really touching. Keith said he liked that he had such a natural way of singing. Harry called it a perfect, succinct performance, and he got 3 yeses. Next we had Leah Harbert. She was 24. She did Chain of Fools by Aretha Franklin. And she wanted to be the next Britney Spears, and she's well on her way. I was laughing my head off and I couldn't help it. She reminded me of like the church mother who stands up and she's like, "Bless the Lord." I was busting me up. I was thinking about grandmother. Good times, good times. Keith says she does a remarkable job of hiding her Britney Spears influence. J-Lo was trying her best not to laugh, and of course they gave her 3 no's. Jordan Simon was up next. 15, she did Who's Loving You by Jackson 5. This girl was big. She looked like she was 20. She was 15. Oh my God. She started out well with a good sound. I liked her tone and her control, but she wasn't getting in those runs clean enough for me. A lot of potential, and she even sounded older than her age. She was just, oh my God, did you believe that girl was 15? Harry said she showed a variety of skills. J-Lo said she had a special quality in her voice. Keith called her really unique, and she got 3 yeses. Then we got a little montage of Cassie Levels and Rhea Raj, and they were both sent through. They got a little singing time and stuff. It all sounded really good, and they both went to Hollywood. Jake Dillon was up next. He was 22. He did Danny's Song by Kenny Loggins, and I liked his voice as soon as he started singing in the first few notes. A forward tone and an easy vocal production. He had the judges singing along with him, which is always a good indicator. He ended this really well too. Keith pointed out a chord he was missing in the song. Harry thought it was good, liked his voice and the vibe, but said they're looking for something spectacular. Keith worried that musically he'd get killed in Hollywood. Harry said no, but he got 2 yeses. Ashley Lily Noe was up next. She was 21. She did Black Velvet by Alana Miles, and she had a funky vibe, you know, that Hawaiian laid back thing, and had the judges leaning in to get closer and hear her better as she was singing. Her guitar was trying to throw her off, but her voice just soared over the sound, and I liked the way she ended it. Very sweet. J-Lo said she made some nice choices, but she wanted more from her. Keith said great song choice. Harry said he noticed she didn't fit in anywhere. She got 2 yeses because J-Lo said no. Next we had Andrew Nazarbekian. He was 20, from Russia. He did To Make You Feel My Love by Adele. I loved his phrasing, very much his own style and feel, nice tone and look, and he really seemed to be relaying the feeling of the song while going for a few little fireworks. That big note at the end he nailed so well. Harry said he sang beautifully. J-Lo said he has a naturally beautiful voice. Keith said he's in his own lane, and he got 3 yeses. And in the pimp spot tonight, is it too early to be in the pimp spot? Was L.B. Shane. He was 20. 27, he did House of the Rising Sun by the Animals. I liked how he started it out, and he had a nice bright voice that had a little depth to it. Of course, he played the guitar with some strength and had all the coaches bouncing and beating along with him, beating all on the table, giving him a little rhythm and all that. He was really attacking this and gave a great performance, not just an audition. J-Lo said he had a spectacular voice. Keith told him it's contagious to watch him, and he got 3 yeses to go to Hollywood. Okay, was it a long show tonight? It felt really long to me tonight. What did you guys think? Thanks for sticking around and watching the commentary. Thanks for your thumbs. I appreciate you. This is Robert Anton, robertantonnyc. I will see you next week.